Yo, it's White Boy Not So Slim here to spit a rhyme. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Pit Stop. For those on YouTube, I'm not sure if you guys noticed the new beginning. I'm not sure if it's the way to go or not with the 5-minute timer starting the show at 8:55, but you all know we start at 9 a.m. That is a strict start time for this show. But it does give you guys an opportunity. I was watching your guys' chat about getting Dan on to Billy's show. And, of course, the big controversies of the day, the not-so giveaway of the 2080 tie or the free nuggets on the show. Sorry to disappoint. Sorry. It is. I apologize to pull that from you guys. If you were expecting the 2080 tie or some nuggets, I can't provide either. So, as you guys notice, we have done things a little bit different. So, I am on a completely new computer system here. New rig, or at least nothing's new, but everything's been changed in layout and the way we're doing things. So, I have to remember that the camera's here, not there, and look at it. So, opinions, thoughts, and then I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now just so you know. But if we ever have a moment where we need to get just a little bit more different, we have this camera, and we can always go here if we have a serious moment. We have something really serious that we need to talk about. So, again, I am trying to keep things fresh, new, and ever-changing on you guys to hopefully keep things engaging and fun. So, would love your answer. Okay, great. I was just going to say, do you guys have any questions or anything that you want to talk about? Because I think that's something that I don't do enough of here on the Pit Stop, which is, this is really about hanging out. I have a cup of coffee, and I'm willing to take a break and refill it if we have a lot to talk about. And so yeah, definitely gonna need to be more interactive with you guys in doing it. So, of course, what do you guys want to talk about before we even get to the news and things about that? So, Dan, should a person who has never driven a real car give a developer advice on how a sim car should drive? That is a really interesting question, Dan. I think the best answer I could give, I don't think I have a blanket yes or no answer to that. I think it might come down to who is that person. Are we talking Gregor Hutu, or are we talking just every average Joe? Are we talking, so to be fair, I don't think that you can just exclude everybody because they don't have real-life experience as far as opinion on how a sim should drive. But I do feel that people who have real-life experience deserve more opinion. Gamer Muscle. Okay, so obviously there was a lot going on. I didn't watch that particular show. Gamer Muscle was on Billy Strange's show. I didn't get to, so I'm assuming that we're kind of getting into some of that. Gamer Muscle has a lot of experience in sim racing, which means he's tried every sim at various different levels of development. So I think that somebody, again, getting back to the who, I think that somebody who's been doing this 10, 20 years and has played, it's not just doing it 10, 20 years, but that you've played R Factor, Assetto Corsa, Automobilista, Wreckfest, BeamNG, iRacing, R Factor 1, Assetto Corsa Pre-Competizione. I think if you have a really extensive gamer base, that it's fair to have an opinion. Yes. Now, the next question is, what weight do the developers put into the opinion of various different people? Yeah, Terry, I know the list. I can be here for 15 more minutes just naming more and more sims that the list. But, like, for example, now I do have real life experience, but if I were to throw that out, I think that I would be a fair opinion if a developer would ask me my thoughts on things. Now, I have a lot of real life experience, really. So not a good example there. But yeah, I think it's fair to have an opinion if you have a good basis of knowledge in sim racing. Caitlin, I wish Flowmaster. That would be a great sponsor for the show. And I'll happily throw them on my Z. So Yeah, exactly, Hinch. Hinch, that's what we're gonna do. Hinch, when we have a moment, when we have one of those, maybe a rant moment. Um, yeah, I think James has done some real life track as well. Um, Tom Jones. Um, yeah, well, okay, so Dan, I'm only going by your word, so I'm not taking this to gamer muscle. But if I were just to, if someone were to say to me, understeer isn't a real thing, wow, yeah, now, at what level are we talking understeer? So my Datsun 240Z makes 450 horsepower, which means when it is on full throttle, its front wheels are off the ground enough that on certain turns you will actually not get steering because there's just not enough weight holding down and getting you grip out of the front wheels. So just there's one real life example. You don't even need track experience. That's my own personal car. So that car, you can drive that thing right into understeer. And then the other version of understeer that anybody who's been on a real car in the rain or anybody who's been on a track knows, if you lock up the brakes at all or overload the front wheels under braking, you're going to induce understeer. There's just no two ways about it. So I do adamantly disagree with the statement, and I'm not sure that's James's direct quote, but understeer is very much a real thing in my opinion. So yeah. Yeah, well, and Terry, again, I think that a sim walks a fine line, and I think this is a really Tom Jones. We'll come back to the 240Z and yeah, and that Joa. That's why I was very careful because I'm not trying to get in an argument with anybody. But if somebody asked me, is understeer a real thing, my answer is exactly as I stated. Definitely don't know what was said exactly. So but again, I don't mind having these conversations and bringing up these topics. Do you guys think understeer is real? And getting back to Terry and target audience, I say it all the time, you guys. It is really important that a sim hits upon the preconceived notions that the general masses that the game is being built for feel that it should be. And one of the criticisms of iRacing is the ice racing. Ice. One of the common criticisms of iRacing is that it is dubbed ice racing for the lack of feeling or sensitivity to the amount of grip that the game brings. And I do feel that a sim, regardless of what GT3 drivers might say, needs to make Gran Turismo drivers think they're driving a real car. And some of that we all need to be. I'll give you another great example. I'm going to give you a really, and this is, people are not going to like what I'm about to say, and because people don't even like hearing the word game when it comes to sim racing. Look at Madden. Do you think that you can throw a football that well? I hate to burst everybody. I hate to burst everybody's bubbles out there, but you are not Max Verstappen. You are not Lewis Hamilton. You guys probably are not that 101% level talent. So, who are they really building the sim for? It is a game. Even the most hardcore sim is a game because one thing they need to do is make you feel like a hero. They need to make you have moments that make you think that you are a star quarterback. And that's a tough line to watch, or walk, I should say. I do feel. Any thoughts, any arguments with that? I mean, am I pissing people off? Tom Jones, back to your question. 240. Yes and no. I need rear tires on the Datsun. The tires that were on it are like 15 years old. They are, at the time I was buying the tires, at race performance level tires, I only had two choices of size. One was too small and the other was too big. I opted for too small, which almost makes it like a drift setup with like these tires that actually lean in. So the rim is wider than the top of the carcass of the tire. They now make the right size. But the problem is when you run tires that low profile, that if you lose air pressure, they will unseat. And with tires that were so old, the right rear actually came off, or it unseated, so I can't even put air in it. So I need to get tires on it, and then, yes, it totally runs. I need to do a brake job on the car. But the car runs. The car runs great. It just, it's been neglected and needs some attention. And I'm about to give it some attention. Funds. It's expensive to bring a car back to life, or, get it in the shape it needs to be in. Elvis, welcome to the show. I haven't seen you in a while. Elvis, are you still in Europe? Are you overseas, or are you back in the States again? How are you doing? How is your career? Can you tell us anything? So yeah. Now, and as a person with real life experience, I would say that iRacing is ice racing. I think that there's a lack of sensation of grip, and even though I do prefer iRacing to most other sims out there, like when I drive Assetto Corsa Competizione and I feel the amount of grip in a GT3 car and I feel it transmitted into the steering wheel, it does bring a smile to my face. And that gets back to the whole point of the question here. Not so much like whose opinion is valid or invalid, or is understeered there or not there, but does it feel like you think it should? Does it drive in a way that makes you want to drive it more? At the moment in the UK, besides the special events winning, nothing much, to be honest. Oh, man. Well, I know you will. So I know you will, because you were the chosen. What about me? Elvis, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been doing some major reflection on the show. And if you guys look at the content, and there has been a transformation going on over the last 6 months of what I'm doing with the show. And I promise you, in the next few shows, it's going to become even more apparent. I am throwing out the script. I am throwing out the template. I am throwing out the norm. I want to call it the tried and true because I've been doing it for so long. And I will still guarantee you to give you the same information that I've always given it to you. But I'm going to do it in a different way. And in the next few videos, I think that's going to be very, very apparent. So I'm looking forward to some upcoming content. And there have been glimpses of it. And the rap video, I think, is the best example. Not that I'm going to be rapping again, and not that I'm going to be doing everything in a comical way quite to that level. But I will be breaking it open and having a lot more fun with what I do. And I think that'll be, and engage with you guys better in doing that. Appalachian Mountains. Now, Dan, that is a long haul. I am psyching up for such a thing. So my first big trip was a north-south trip, and we did 2,400 miles. So that would get me to you, but not home. The other thing is, right now I'm still trying to find a lot more dirt. So one problem I'm having, I was just talking to my riding buddy yesterday, and everything we want to go in the south direction towards like Los Angeles or Nevada, all of that direction through the winter that we had here in California, everything's wiped out. So all the dirt trails are gone. All the dirt roads are gone. It's just a big, giant sand washout. All right. And then everything we want to go to towards the north, the Sierras, like up towards Lake Tahoe, is literally still under 20 feet of snow. And not only are we waiting for the melt, but I'm thinking, when all that melts, I'm not sure that the trails and the dirt roads that we want will be there either. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. We're looking that we might have to go further. I'm not sure. So I'm a little upset because we were just yesterday trying to put our trip that have all been postponed because of weather on the calendar, and we're having a really hard time deciding where. But I don't think I have enough time to get to the East Coast. Because, again, we're trying to get through 100,000 subs. We're trying to just get to 50,000 subs, for Christ's sake. Pathetically, limping along towards 50. I dream of 100, and 500K, I'd actually probably be able to have enough staff to be able to take the time to come out and see you, Dan. Just being very brutally honest. So, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Amir's not in the chat today. Anything else on your mind before we get into the news? I am not done blabbing away. I'm not done sipping on my coffee and chilling and talking. I love that talk about Understeer, how a sim should be built. You know, there are new sims on the horizon. So, as new games are coming out, we kind of need to have our influences, whether you have real life experience or you just want to enjoy the next sim. Yeah, just a quick week or two of filming. Tom Jones, you know, I was thinking that I thought laid back. I thought the same thing when I said it. I almost switched it. All right. So I would love to do a tour where I travel the country and come visit SimPit fans. That would be a blast. The question would be, are you guys cool with a drop in content while I'm doing that? And it would take a lot longer than a week or two. It would cost a lot of money as well, just in fuel mileage and lodging. I'm willing to camp a fair amount, but every once in a while you do need a shower. So, Troy Denny, why are you not at work? Troy Denny is one of my best friends in the world. I talk about the fondness of my Russell racing days. What really switched me from just being like kind of into racing and like loving racing, and even exploded my sim racing love. You're on the way to Road America. Awesome. Troy, I brag about you. Can you tell anyone, are you allowed to say who you work for? Who do you work for, Troy? Hey, Tom, can I have I'll need a shower is what I need the most when I do these things. Tom Jones, hey, if Amir can keep up the content and we can fund such a trip, I would really think about doing it. I would really seriously consider it. My buddy Troy works for Dallara, you guys. If you want to know what the nut and bolt of every single thing they make, we're going to talk about Dallara. I'm going to play this video right now. We can talk about Dallara. Yeah, we can. Season 3 build for iRacing, I think, is one of those bigger... Let me mute this. A little loud, probably. It is for me. Troy, happy travels. Good luck in Road Atlanta.
Crew, this is Amir.
All right.
We're gonna be taking a look.
So,
Come into iRacing.
on with the show. You're running the EXP at the RA PBOC event. Awesome. Awesome. I can't wait to hear about it. So Amir knocked out a cool video last week previewing the iRacing Season 3 build. And that was cool. And that was a good video. Amir and I collaborated this week to put out a video. And the reason Amir's probably not here, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's slaving away at his editing station right now. Because yesterday was supposed to come out, and not a big deal at all, but yesterday we were planning on having it come out, and tomorrow will be the real day, or today should be the day of the real release. But our thoughts, so we actually do try out the new content in iRacing and talk about it in a little bit more greater detail, and that gets back to some of what I was talking about, how we'll have some changes in the show. We've really not covered software enough in recent times, other than the pit stop and keeping you up on updates and things like that. But as far as like really reviewing and talking about what's going on, so this was one of the first opportunities. You're going to see some new software coming out, like Codemasters F1 2023. You'll see some old reviews, things that we haven't done, but, you know, with the latest content to Assetto Corsa Competizione, it's worthy of a modern era review. So, as we try to get more DIY projects, as we try to get more hardware reviews, we're also going back to and bringing in more software reviews. So I think I'm beating a dead horse a little bit because I've talked about this in great detail, but that's what's going on. So, yeah, the new content at iRacing, one of them being the Cadillac,
Where's iRacing gonna put this?
and that car is actually a Dallara. I thought that this morning, Joa. Isn't that terrible? Isn't that? Yeah, happy birthday. I meant to say that. I sent him a message privately. Yeah, today, everybody, come into our Discord, you guys. You know what? You want to be cool? You want to be super cool? Jump into our Discord. And in our Discord, you can come wish Amir a happy birthday yourself. So Amir, who's a great asset and helping out a lot, and we've been talking a lot about things that we can do together in moving forward. Sean Seabrand, Pro Sim Racing, welcome to the show. Amir, I don't know if I know the number. I don't know if I'm gonna say it. I don't think that's proper. I do know the number, and that is not the number, Tom. It's close, but it's not the number. Actually, is this what I'm supposed to do? Happy birthday to you. All right, enough of that. Sean Seabrand asks, who wrote the rhymes in your rap video? You need to cut a sim racing album. Oh, I'm not sure anyone can handle a whole album of monotone Sean. Because that is the only level I have in attempting to do rap songs. So I'll be very honest with you guys who wrote the song. I wrote the song by typing in a bunch of parameters into ChatGPT. No bullshit. That's how it played out. I told it a bunch of things that I wanted it to hit upon. Things that I thought were important to me and really needed in this video, or, you know, in this song. And then I told it, I think I even told it, like, what tempo I was shooting for. So we had some examples. Yeah. But, yeah, I did... That is how I did that. I will say, Joe is scared horribly of this. I wrote a country song as well. Wouldn't that be great, Dan? Like a chain around, like a Flavor Flav clock. David S., I own that fanny pack, and that is mine. Fanny packs, I understand, have made a comeback. That is a modern fanny pack. It's not one I owned from the day. The wardrobe I stole from my brother, though. Those were like his work clothes. I don't own that. So, thank you, Sean. The edit, I had a lot of fun. It took a lot of work to get it right, or as good as I could get it. And thank you. I had a lot of fun. I'll play it, and then we're gonna move on.
I'm Ron Finley, also known as the Gangster Gardener. This garden.
I'm the Gangster Sim Racer. We have to do the whole ad.
Internet has helped spread my word.
I'll enjoy the moment.
It's white boy not so slim here to spit a rhyme about sim racing, where I spend my precious time. I'm a middle-aged gamer with a passion burning bright. I got a Napoleon complex and I'm aiming for the height.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm in the virtual cockpit racing my prime, reclaiming my youth through this digital paradigm. I might not be the youngest, but I'm
2600.
And in
That was an
the
Atari
world,
2600 the day I got it. Hey, Pete Snake, how you doing, buddy?
Sim racing's my escape. Where age won't define.
I don't know why. It grew on me. I was so embarrassed, you guys. You have no idea how I felt when I put this out.
White boy not so slim. Sim racing's kingpin. They call me the elder statesman, a seasoned pro. And when I hit the apex, I break records. Watch them go. From the comfort of my rig. And in the sim racing world, I'm a legend, stealing shows. Yeah, I might be middle-aged, but I never lose my spark.
Macarena!
Sim racing's my passion, igniting in the dark. While I'm driving with precision, every lap is a thrill. While I might be getting older, but my hunger's real.
The 39 core takes the win. Sean Cole. Sean Cole.
No way.
Age won't define. I'm tearing up the track, leaving all
I had the track map upside down, by the way.
I'm a middle-aged gamer with a fire won't dim. White boy not so slim.
Frito, what up, Edgar?
Kingpin. So what if I'm older? I still got the game, and with every lap I take,
We have a few of the OG shots here.
and I'll know what middle-aged gaming's all about. I step into the sim, leaving doubt at the door. I'm a virtual speed demon that they just can't ignore. Well, they say age is just a number, and that is the truth. In the sim racing world, I'm the living proof. So remember my name as I reach for the stars. Sim racing's my passion, my journey, no scars. No need for the haters, no need for the doubt. I'm conquering the racetrack, that's what it's all about. I'm white boy, not so slim, breaking barriers with ease. Sim racing's my world where I find my inner peace. So raise your virtual flags, let the crowd roar. White boy
This is
not
an
so
original
slim,
track,
we're all
Edgar. The
sore.
track. Oh, you mean the actual whole thing? The music. I gotta throw. I mean, I don't think I should put it in the credits. The music, which this would not have been able to happen if it were not for Devin being able to make. He literally made that music for us. Like I had a clip. I had a song that I had found, and I'm like, hey, this is what, and it was going to cost me like $100 to make. And being that that video only got 1,400 views, I'm really glad I didn't have to spend $100 on it. No, I would have anyway, just because it was fun. But Devin made the video, the music, and it just made it possible. I don't think it would have happened. And yeah, it was a really fun. And here's the thing, you guys, when I'm talking about the changes that I'm making moving forward, and I have to apologize, I think. I kind of forgot how much fun this is. Like, I mean, I have a good time. Don't get me wrong. I love building rigs. I love doing review. But somehow I forgot the essence of the reason, the fun that we get to have when we don't take it so seriously. And I think that what happened is that I evolved into a very serious character. And I didn't like that when I really stepped back from afar and looked at it. And I'm like, no, I'm, where's my video? Stupid.
So what if or racing? So remember my name as I reach for the stars.
It was this.
Sim racing
It was this.
world, I'm the living proof. So remember my name as I reach for the stars. Sim racing's my passion. My
Do you
journey,
see
no
it?
scars.
Do you see what I'm talking about, you guys? I mean, I think right there, and again, this video, when you look back in time,
Proof.
when we're at 100,000 subs and taking time off for vacation, right?
My journey.
That's it. I'm glad that I can at times have enough self-reflection. And it doesn't mean don't be a reviewer or don't do it. It just means, God, stop doing the Bueller version. All right? And I apologize. So I hope it saves the day. Caitlin, and the shopping cart was getting back to it, and I got another one of those up my sleeve. I got another shopping cart rig up my sleeve. I promise you, it's coming soon. Yeah, maybe it'll grow back. Maybe it'll grow back, Tom. Just because. All right. We spent the first 15 minutes of the show talking about who do developers allow to influence a gamer sim, who a gamer sim is marketed for, and what are our expectations of a sim. A coffin rig. Joa, all in good time, but I'm not ready for that one yet. All right, so what do we have? Forgive these horrible ads that popped up since I got this ready. Stupid Google. Traxian is posting, talking about Le Mans Ultimate is the official game of the 24-hour race and WEC. Tiny. Is there not just a little bit of irony in this one? Am I overusing the second camera? All right. The PC simulation will include the current season's 24-hour Le Mans and FIA World Endurance Championship grid, race control online multiplayer, and is set for an estimated December 2023 release, you guys. And what are we talking about? We are talking about the next game by Motorsport Games, and that's where the irony comes in with the 24 Hours of Le Mans being the ownership, license, and title and recent fiasco. The brand new title will be developed by Motorsport Games Studio, aka Studio 397, of R Factor 2 fame, and using the P-Motor 2.5 game engine, but with what's believed to be a new structure, game modes, and online functionality. So, the big question is, who are their influencers? Who are their devs listening to? Who is the game being marketed towards? Will its user interface be better than the nightmare that is R Factor 2? Will its playability on machines be what it needs to be? And maybe, look at Assetto Corsa Competizione and the amount of quality control that it was gave the Kunos team to really keep that game and its mindset and control its quality in that way. Was it because it was a single series sim? I mean, you look at iRacing, they handle it pretty well for a wide variety. But you look at heavily modded sims, and it doesn't always pan out perfectly. Certainly quality control goes out the window. So with a single-minded sim, will it control the assets? Will it control? Anyway, getting back to the 5 questions we threw down, who are the devs listening to? Who is the game being made for? Is it going to have better, monitor and computer support with greater ease? Will the user interface draw you into the game? And even the multiplayer aspect, they're promising and talking about a whole new interface for multiplayer, which would really be good. Dan, I'm going to put this in the I'm excited. And and the whole marketed towards esport, I agree. I am now of the philosophy, and forgive me for having a strong opinion on this, But I am definitely of the philosophy that esport is having a negative impact on sim racing. It doesn't mean it's 100% negative. There are a lot of positive aspects to esport, a lot that can't be swept away. It's huge, and at the same time, it's had a negative effect as well that I'm not enjoying from my position. So, and I don't know how that translates for you. Maybe I'm different. I'm a reviewer. I'm a streamer. You're just, or not just, I don't mean, and not a lot of you are reviewers and streamers as well. But, depending on what you're doing in sim racing, it may or may not have a positive or negative. And the reason I say that, and I almost want to skip ahead, is because the next other title to keep our eyes on, of course, is Rensport, the ESL R1 esport game. I mean, it's so being built for esport that they're already racing money-paying competitions, and they just opened up to a closed beta group for testing. So the likes of Team Redline and McLaren and Mercedes and the esport teams are all there and competing as I'm letting I want to come back to that video. But this game isn't even released yet, and they're competing for money on it. So when we talk about a game being developed for esport, well, who the F is it being developed for if this is the way it's going on?
12 drivers are about to win. It's going to be a tough day, though, but how's it going to work? Effectively, we've had a soft reset based on the points we've had from the championship.
I agree 100%, Caitlin.
What's going to happen? The drivers are going to fight to try and get to 160 points. Once they do so, they enter finalist mode.
45,000 euro to the winner. 12 of the world's best drivers.
They have to win just one more
this
race.
is Rensport, the game.
Euros to be the first winner on Rensport and to take home.
Okay, so now we have some of the action.
With 2 places in 1. It's time for the first part. It will give him the place. Although he slides.
McCormick, Baldwin, Jajowski, Shizzik, Kevin Siggy, Bennett, Rogers, Lohner, Benito, Tormala, Toman. Big names, no denying. Williams, Mercedes, Redline. Can't read a couple of the others. That weird, funky gaming team that isn't even an esport team. They're a gaming team. That pisses me off. The invite list pissed me off on this one as well. How did they decide this hierarchy? F them for that. That's some balls, by the way. That's some balls. Oh, we're going to build an esport game, and sorry, Rensport, but I'm calling it like I see it. That is some mega friggin' balls. We're going to build a game, and we're not going to let any of you drive it. And we're going to create $1 million esport competition, but we shall decide the who's who. Is that not the most Formula One arrogant level thinking ever? Why not have an open competition? Why were not lower level teams able to have an entry? Because who knows? Maybe they'll invest more time and energy and come with a bigger skill set than even Redline, and not taking anything away from Redline. But that's some BS in my opinion, and that's where I talk about the money and the esport change in sim racing is bad. It's evil. Money is evil. Greed is good, my ass. Greed is good, sure. Money is friggin' evil. Anyway, closed beta key drop did go on, so we do now have real people getting in and finally getting to test the flavor of Rensport. So here's their little video. I'm gonna mute it so we don't lose our stream monetization. They have music playing. So yeah, here's an entire sim racing game. So, you know, we have new sims coming out. When they make a new shooter game, they're usually looking to do something different. So I can't beat Call of Duty by building Call of Duty. I don't think sim racers care as much as they might think, whether it's GT3s or GT this or GT. It's gonna come down to, is it a good playable game? Like, I don't play a lot of F1, the series, because of its playability for the level of sim game that I want. Its fun factor was never compelling enough to put it above a BeamNG or a Wreckfest. So therefore, when I was looking for a diversion type game, it wasn't F1. When I was looking to get away from iRacing, ice racing, it wasn't F1 to save the day. It was Wreckfest. It's BeamNG. And so when making the next Call of Duty, I need it to be a shooter, right? That's the genre that we're attacking, that we're entering. But I can't just build the same game. I mean, that serves no purpose. I have to bring something new to the table, whether it be innovative user interface, maybe a new age single player mode. You know, sim racing games are horribly lacking in single player mode and career mode and things like this. They feel like everything is about competition, which is great. But it's still a game. We've talked about this point if Friendsport had understood. Tom Jones, you are the funny guy. Sky Jr. P1000s. Rumor has it they're on the way. So hopefully soon. Well, and they call it a beta all they want, but it's still an alpha. I'm not sure the hierarchy of namings there. So yeah, what I really need to see from this game is something new, something different. When I think about the Le Mans game that's coming up, I need something new, something different. I mean, that looks like everything I've driven already, right? Doesn't it? I mean, how does that look any different? And they're not gonna look different because it's a racing game. But you better do something different. They better. They're gonna flood the waters with a bunch of very like sims, and it's gonna be very boring, in my opinion. All right. So we already mentioned at the beginning, we did the preview video. Amir is diligently working on his birthday on the actual opinions video, or at least showing you the actual footage from our perspective, not just using iRacing's video. It means we actually got to try the Cadillac, the Porsche 911, and Porsche 911. Now, they did immediately drop the original GT3. Excuse me. To legacy content. But I even when driving, I'm a Porsche guy, but wow, how many Porsches do we need? How many Porsches? I mean, I understand that it is the most common race car. I think, Mazda used to make the claim, but I'm not sure it's even true anymore. It might be Porsche now. There are so many Porsches raced on every single Sunday. Does anyone know who is the official on any given Sunday? What marquee is the most seen on track in 2023? Does anybody know? I would be thrilled if anybody knew the answer to that question. Anyway, the Liger, or the Liger, depending on what you want to call it. Or do I need to do one of these? The Liger, the Liger JSP 320 LMP3 car is also part of this new update. Paid content, as I lay out these tracks and cars, keep in mind those all cost an extra fee. Someone had mentioned earlier with the amount of DLC, the pay to for DLC, iRacing should be a free game, free to play at this point. That is a great argument. That is valuable argument. But the amount of content that is at, anywhere from $10 to $15, depending on your purpose, maybe it should be free to play at this point. Free, and maybe at some point it deserved being paid for, but now, the problem is, not everybody's going to buy all the DLC, half of it's only for, like, the oval guys don't buy the road stuff, the road guys don't buy the oval stuff, A handful of us like me like it all, so I buy it all. Anyway, Willow Springs International Raceway. This is I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I did the part on Willow Springs for our video that's coming out today. And the reason for it is because I have more laps at Willow Springs. Actually, I think I might have more laps at Buttonwillow now. Originally, it was Willow Springs was my most real-life race track. It then became Buttonwillow. But I've done a couple of 24-hour events at Willow Springs. I've run numerous different cars there, and it's one of my home tracks. And it's a really fun track because it's only 9 turns, and it's a basic layout that is actually can be very challenging and difficult, and it's always dangerous. So I had a lot of fun doing that part, and I can tell you it's a really, really good rendition of Willow Springs. The other thing that's interesting about it is that it was one of the original tracks. When you go back in time to when iRacing first came onto the scene, they did give a list of tracks that they had scanned and were going to originally put in the sim. Willow Springs was on the original, the OG list from iRacing, but it has taken them, 12 years or so to get to it. So, it is there now, or how many years? I don't know how many years. And Chicago Street Course, so there is a variation change for Chicago. The Dirt Refresh, Motorland Aragon, the Dirt Refresh, so a whole new face to the dirt racing on iRacing. Enhanced AI racing, new damage model, feature update. This was a big. Some of the seasonal builds for a year are bigger. Some of them are smaller. This was definitely one of the larger builds from iRacing for sure. That's the Cadillac. Those are Cadillacs, all 3 of those. The Dallara Cadillac. Billy, Billy, no, can we, Billy? Oh, I had no idea that somebody with knowledge and wisdom was here, because I went out and I just drove a car. I'll be honest with you guys, I did the dirt portion, but I have we're getting back to what we talked about at the beginning. Well, I feel I have no business giving opinion on dirt racing. It's not what I excel at. It's not what I really understand. I mean, I understand it, sure. I understand physics. I understand car, but I am not a dirt seasoned driver in sim or real life. So Billy, you don't have to go into great detail, but is it just not? It didn't change. It didn't make it better. Did it make it better? We could be that simple. And then are you going to talk about it on your next show? And if you are, feel free. Well, you can promote your next show. Billy, when are you on the air? You want to let our crowd, anybody who doesn't know, we at the beginning of the show, we did talk about Billy and Gamer Muscle. Billy, if you weren't here, it was nothing, no shots or anything. It was just, we mentioned that you guys had an interesting conversation. Billy Strange, when do you do your show? And feel free to even post a link if you'd like as well. It's the sprint car. So only the most important car in dirt is the one they failed at, and they maybe improved the other ones. Great. Well, that's too bad. That is really too bad to hear. I was hoping for more. So I noticed this was the big trend on iRacing. So obviously they have this new thing. I didn't find it. So apparently somewhere in the new UI you can get your little stats. I didn't find it because mine aren't worth looking at. And I'm going to lay that out there for you guys just because that's my point and topic. So this was, let's see here. Let's see someone we know. West the Mess. These are names of people posting. So Aquel K, I can't say that. I don't need to disclaim for that. West the Mess. Talon Smith. Michael Conti. All right, so here we have a former NASCAR champion. I don't know, Chris. I'm going to go look for it later. But I do the show when you can get enough to talk about, typically midday. Oh, so you don't have a set time and schedule yet. Well, always feel free to drop into our Discord and let people know you're on. I know a lot of our guys are there because we talk about it all the time. So, but feel free to drum up audience, you know. Anyway, so here is my question to you. Michael Conti, these are his stats. Now, you know, esport level drivers are going to do a lot less, right? They're very focused when it comes to their racing versus general public. And I'm not trying to attack anybody with that. But, you know, Tuckles, for example, did 645 races. Average start position 7th. Average finish 6th place. 188 wins, 394 top fives. That is some impressive stats right there. 32,000 laps driven. So, Michael Conti, by contrast, esport level driver, 10 race starts, average start 7th, average finish 7th, 5 wins out of 10 starts at that level, by the way, 6 top fives, and 868 laps driven. My question to you, are you happy with what you did last season? Did you have seasonal goals? Did you have open racing seasonal goals? Did you want to win a divisional championship in one of the mini series on iRacing, perhaps? Are you in a league that's either wrapping up right now? Because I know for our oval, next week is the last race, and on Sunday is the last road race for our road series. So I know we're wrapping up league. Did you guys perform at the level that you wanted to? And if you did, congratulations to you. Very much so. Because I didn't. And if you didn't, are you going to set goals for next season? Because now would be a good time. We're still at the end of week 13. If you did have goals in iRacing, for example, now would be the time to focus. Make a schedule. When I did my thing on how to be an esport, you know, you got to write a schedule so you don't forget. Billy just wing. You know, so I wanted to have a schedule and I didn't, and I thought I would just wing it, and then that failed me because I just never make the time. I feel like I have to make the time or it will not happen. Viral failed in the final weeks. Better luck next season. Indeed. Anyway, I did. At first, I was like, oh, give me a break when I was scrolling through all of these. But in the end, I was like, actually, you know, I really failed myself. I missed a bunch of races. Somebody asked earlier, Oldest, are you still here? I saw your comment and I forgot. Yes, I'll be there on Sunday. I will be there on Sunday. I've just had a really hectic month. I had a birthday, then it was Memorial Day. We had some things going on, and then last week I was just ended up super duper busy. So this week I will be there for the season finale. If you don't have goals, you can't disappoint. Yes, so true, Billy. Hey, Tom, there you go, Tom. You got your credit. You're in. Yes, goals, good. Ken did well on his, good. Frito, I didn't even have one. So pathetic. Yeah, Terry had a bad race last week because of a computer issue. So other than that, it was fine. If the computer wouldn't let you down, you would be fine. So, yes, Oldest, I will be there on Sunday. Ryok WD. Ryok WD improved their IR by just driving whatever they wanted. Road and had much more fun and improved your IR. All right. Well, I hope that might be words for wisdom for somebody out there, because that's kind of what it's all about right there, isn't it? Terry will not be there Sunday. The stats are for officials only. Yes, Chris. Yes. So if you league race, it's not going to show up in those stats, I don't think. Wow, it's going to be a short show, you guys. We just got to the news. So join the alpha test, new online multiplayer. So we just talked about the new online multiplayer focus of the new Le Mans game out of Studio 397. But they are also doing something new with the online. So they're going to have an alpha test that it's going to, you know, that you can submit your details, no guarantee of acceptance, but if you want to be part or help, Help, R Factor Studio 397. It might even translate into help in the upcoming title. So there you go. You can find that through that page there. And it's on their Twitter as well. That's where you can get the link right there on the R Factor 2 Twitter page. We already talked about Rensport. I think I'm done with that. We beat that dead horse enough. Rate Championship is back at Race Room, so they do have 3 alternating series. We'll mute the volume on the music so we don't. All right, Billy Strange, I have to ask. Did you see my rap video? And did you cringe? Or did you laugh? Or both? Or Billy's a real musician. That's why I asked. Billy is a legit real musician. Every time I see you post about being at the boardwalk, I think you're going to be at the Santa Cruz boardwalk. And I'm like, I'm totally going to go watch them. But then I remember that there's a boardwalk in Sacramento. I think that's where you go play. Anyway, am I telling people too much? Sorry. Am I letting cat out of the bag? All right. What else? What else? I think that's it. What else? What else? That's it. That's it from Race Room. Automobilista. You know. Thank you, Billy. It was a toughie. So Automobilista is another sim we're going to have to watch out for, and it probably won't be under the name Automobilista, but it's going to be this new joint effort with Ian Bell, you know, formerly Slightly Mad Studios, Project Cars 1, 2, 3. Ian Bell goes back to Simbin and the GTR days. So this is, you know, Ian Bell brings a lot to the table. Joining forces with AMS for their next venture, but they're not done with Automobilista 2 just yet. So, Catalunya and Formula USA 2023 just came out. That was on the 3rd. And physics changes. Yeah, a preview of physics changes that are coming out as well. Ooh, things updated. So, where to go? Oh, where to go? Where to go? Shit. Is this it? Okay. There you go. So yeah, we'll be keeping our eye on AMS for sure, and the Ritza Studios group as they move forward on that. The SimPit Q&A. If you were a sim racer that stopped, sold all your stuff, and decided to get back in, what would be your setup? That's your situation. Whew, Dan. I mean, the first question I would ask is, like, do you have a budget restriction? I mean, like, because if you have to do it on a budget and it's like bang for the buck, my answer might be slightly different. So yeah. Terry, no one to watch over your son. That's your safety cushion, is having your son there as a buffer, or the women there as a buffer to your son. So, Dan, I gotta tell you right now. Well, so right now I'm at a place where I feel like if budget is part of the requirement and you need everything, then I probably lean towards, I don't know, if I had a good friend who was on a budget, I would tell them right now is, yeah, either look on the used market from a reliable source. That would be number one. There you go. Absolutely. I would probably be looking like, okay, I'm going to get like a Moza R9 and then whatever wheel rim I need, or a SimMagic Mini and whatever wheel rim. So, and then I would basically choose based on the rim that I want. I think they're really comparable bases and companies. And by getting into that ecosystem, if I feel I need more than the Mini or the 9 Newton meter level, that I can jump up. I would probably go with a set of Club Sport pedals, because for $350 or $399, I think that's the least amount of money you can spend and get something somewhat reliable and good. I mean, for like $100 more, you can get a lot better pedal now, but at $400, that's the go-to. And then I would do a DIY rig. I would build it out of wood, because wood is cheap, and I mean, you can, you know, if you're super cheap, you can just build a shopping cart. So that's what I would do. Now, with all of that said, if you were like, hey, I'm on a budget, but I really have my eye on that steering wheel, the physical wheel that goes in my hand, and I think that right now, I think that is the most passion point in the hardware decision, and that's why you see so many companies making that steering wheels right now. And I could just see somebody making that choice based on that. So yeah, Elite pedals, those are definitely good for the price too. I mean, and then that's the other thing, and then it starts getting into, well, you can cut a corner on Newton meters. You can cut a corner on which wheel rim, because let's face it, now we do have, like, usually you have a lower and higher level wheel rim to choose from. So, you know, again, where do you feel like you need to cut the corners? If you're going to build a rig, see, and that's the other thing when I ask people about budget. Well, what are you going to do about a rig? Because if you're willing to build your own rig, you're going to save yourself no less than $500 and closer to $1,000 in today's market. So if you absolutely need a whole setup, well, saving $500 even could completely change my answer to the rest of your hardware. So now, if you can't build or won't build or don't want to build a rig, and you're like, I have to build a rig, it's like, okay, well, you can get a Next Level Racing GT. I think they're like $500. It might be my favorite, you know, lower priced, medium priced rig. There are nicer rigs for sure, but yeah. All right. I hope I answered your question adequately, Dan. Joa, I hope I didn't betray you. Dan, there you go. There you go. All right. Yeah, all right, we're done with that. We've done that. Uh-oh, I have to go to the bathroom. What are we going to do about that? All right. Just to remind you guys, F1 2023, not sure if you know, it's coming out. I've been in talks with them, and looks like I might be getting on this soon. So, I'm eager. You know, I think of this as a Madden title. And so going back to... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, wait, there it is. You know, going back to the day, back in the day, you know, getting back to when, like, Madden, you know, football first came onto the scene, you know, which to me, that was like the original, we're going to name our title by the calendar year, and we're just going to advance titles, you know, every year it'll just be Madden 22, 23, 24, 25, right? That is me, yes, with my Adam Rich. How Adam Rich is that haircut? And if you know who Adam Rich is, then you are as old as I am. Yeah, that is my Adam Rich era. So yeah, so when Madden, I mean, I played 1, I played 2, 3, 4, right? And then at some point you realized, hey, I'm not gonna buy the next one because I'm gonna spend that $50 on something else. I don't, you know, they didn't change. I don't care that this guy transferred, or 8 is enough. David S., thank you very much. Joe, what bull? No, that's not a helmet. So, yeah, I got to a point where I started skipping years, and then I'd maybe even wait for word that this was the one worth going back to. I have this weird gut instinct hunch that, and don't get me wrong, I don't think F123 is going to be like the take down the big dragons of sim racing, iRacing, R Factor 2, and a Soto Corsa competition. No, I don't think it's built for that market. I do think it's going to be one of the more exceptional versions if you were to just evaluate year by year. And I'm hoping, I'm optimistic this is the year worth buying. I mean, I've only missed a couple of years. I don't have Steam on this computer. I just loaded, this is a brand new computer, you guys. I looked through I've only missed like 2 or 3 years of the F1 franchise. So anyway, I am looking forward to it. I'm hoping this is the one. That's my thing. For those of you who do play on the Xbox, if you're using Thrustmaster equipment, there is a mandatory firmware update. So this is going to be for future compatibility of games. So you're going to want to take care of that for Xbox Thrustmaster users. Tomorrow, you guys want to ask questions of none other than Will Ford of Boosted Media. He will be on the SimUcube Discord channel tomorrow. That'll be at 7 a.m. UTC, Coordinated Universal Time. And I don't know what time that translates into. Anybody who's good at international time, feel free to type it in a North American or whatever time zone. I don't care. Give me a time zone. That'll help. I know I'm 8 or 9 behind Europe, so Will Ford will be there. So if you have any questions and you want to be part of the chat or watch the chat and what people ask of him, that will be on the SimuCube Discord channel tomorrow. Next Level Racing I've mentioned a few giveaways there, they've been doing. So if you haven't, Dan, have you entered the Next Level Racing giveaways? They're giving away some rigs and stuff. I've been talking about it for weeks. Tom, that's not funny. This is something new. I thought this was kind of cool, even though I'm not, I'm a sim guy. I love flight sims, but I just don't get enough time. But Take It to the Skies. The big announcement was going to be on the 6th, so 3 days ago, and they had this. Build it your way. Next Level Racing and a flight cockpit. The Flight Stand Pro. Check this out, you guys. Dun, dun, dun. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So there, and then here's the seat. The Flight Seat Pro. Look at that. So pretty cool to see them making some purpose-built flight gear, not just making universal equipment that switches over, but for those who are dedicated to flight sim, that's some good stuff. Did you, Terry? Awesome. All right, you guys. Wow, we're almost to the end of the show. We're going to look at some sim rigs. We're going to talk about some sim racing results from our leagues. And then we're going to get our weekend groove going. So I love this one. This right here, I love this post. FarSync4335 posted this on Reddit. 14 years old, just got his first job. I applaud your parents, by the way. Good parenting. The parents of FarSync4335 and 14 years old, and instead of sitting in his bedroom talking to his friends on his cell phone or being outside riding a bicycle or being a child, he's doing the most responsible thing of all and actually has employment because he knew exactly what his first big purchase would be, and that would be this setup right here. So congratulations on your hard work paying off, and I think that's just awesome. All right, anything else worth looking at? My grandpa and I made magnetic shifter for their Formula Carbon. Cool. I've seen a lot of mods. Good job. Always loving the DIY ingenuity of the sim racing world. All right. Cheap button box. We've done some variations of that. Got the dog in the picture. Maybe, Joa. You know, you have a pretty nice rig, huh? Sim Cat, meet Rudy, the pit crew. His pit crew. Moses set up there. With the inexpensive wheel. That looks like an R5 bundle, by the way. The R5 bundles are not a bad option, Dan. It's just, like, I don't have a problem with the 5 Newton meter. That's like, you know, a TSPC. That's more power than a TSPC makes. More than a Club Sport makes. So that's not terrible, but the pedals are kind of throwaway. So, PVC in a Formula laydown position. Awesome. I built one of those. I thought that was Billy Strange for a second. Sequential shifter, off-the-shelf parts. Where are the rigs? There we go. There's a rig. New apartment. We don't even have a dining room table, so we had to do something about it. There you go. Just throw a rig there instead. Who needs a dining room table? Ooh, we got some motion. Do you guys want to see something really cool? I'm going to show you something super cool. This is going to be a teaser. I'm not going to say a word. All right? I'm not going to say a word. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Nope. Try this one. Oh, no, no, don't go there. Don't go there. No. Where is... Ah. Nah. Shit. All right, I failed. Here, I can do it. I just gotta be slick. I gotta be super slick. I'll get this going in the background while we talk about some sim pit racing. And eventually, and then at some point you guys will see. Just keep your eyes peeled. All right, that's a cool looking rig right there. What do you mean? What do you mean, Callum? What do you mean? Andres, there's nothing embarrassing. There's nothing embarrassing. We all in good time. We all have our own pace. We all have our own way, man. Oh. Let's see here. If I do this, I can go here. And then I can go back to here. There we go. Oh, it looks like our next level racing setup right there. All right. Where are we? There we go. Now I got things back in order. Oh, it didn't happen, did it? I know why. I know why. Shit. 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 Oh, triple shit. Nothing's working right. Dang it. Oh, it's way back there. Bear with me. Oh, the professionalism. Is this not powered up? Oh, I'm sorry. I ruined the moment, you guys. I really did, didn't I? Shit. Alright, there we go. We'll see what happens. We'll see if anything happens. I might be doing this all wrong. Alright, let's look for some rigs. That was a moment. Oh, and I don't even want it in my way. Now it's totally in our way, right? It's not what I wanted. Alright, let's finish this nightmare up. No, it's not a nightmare. It's been fun, you guys. It's been a lot of fun. There we go. Okay. Now we're back. Where'd my chat? There we go. Okay. Sim rigs. Ooh, that's a nice looking setup right there. Look at that. Oh, it's a side-by-side. Look at that. Is this the ultimate father and son sim racing setup? Oh, I know why it's not working. I know why it's not working. Power and spark. Fuel and spark, right? Fuel and spark. Without fuel, without spark, without combustion, we cannot run an engine. No, I think we failed. I have failed you guys again. Oh, that's the Dexerto. Dexerto. Joa got us this. The $25,000 simulator revealed by cooler manufacturer EKWB. All right, let's see if this works this time. I'm hoping. I'm hoping. All right, where were we? We were on this Dexerto rig. Dexerto. No, not race results. Dexerto. There we go. Pretty cool looking computer in there. Oh. You guys are so tolerant. All right. All right. Where were we? Where were we? We're at rigs. I think we've looked at all the rigs. I gotta pee. All right. Let's talk about some Sim Pit Rally results. This week they're at Perth, at Glencastle. How come it's not? Oh. Oh. It's so bumpy. Whoa, a little too much. Oh. Oh. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up, people. That's the kind of week I'm having. All right. All right. Back to... all right. All right. Let's see. Perth. It was ICH Motorsport winning the event over David S. Tap and spin like an aerobics class. David S. finishing in second. Code Phoenix coming in third place. And after 3 events, it's David S. leaving with a 17-point lead over the battle between GT99LV and ICH Motorsport, both with 30 points, fighting for second and third place. Oh, yay, you're not, Nikor. Not even close. You're in 15th. That is the SimPit Rally League. Excuse me. If you would like to take part in the SimPit Rally League or any of the leagues that we have going on at the SimPit. Ooh, did you see that? That was its release. Just get into our Discord channel. Is my link still active here? Nope. That's the wrong one. That ain't gonna work. That's the simulator. Yeah, so if you want to be part of any of our SimPit leagues, easiest way is to just get in our Discord, and we actually have a thread for our Road League, our Oval League, our Rally League, our Soto League, all of the leagues. All right, in the SimPit Oval Series, the second to last race, 1 race to go, and that'll be on Monday night. Last week, Joe Hildinger won the event. They were at, where were they? I'm sorry, Richmond. Joe Hildinger winning over David Clymer with Calix Weitzel coming in third place. And with that, our season points right now look like this. 291 points. David Clymer with a commanding lead. So at this point, it is a 22-point lead over Calix Weitzel in second, with Mick Labine in third, and he's only 3 points back. So it looks like David Clymer should be able to wrap things up this final week. And we'll have a battle for second place for sure when they head to Charlotte Legacy for the final race of the season on Monday night. No, so luckily, our place is a 2-story place, like a townhouse, and this is on the bottom floor, so I'm all good there. But that is a common wall, I do believe. But I don't hear them much, and I don't think they hear. It's not that noisy. I don't think this thing's that noisy. Vibration, yes. In the SimPit Road Series, the guys were at Road America this week, and it was Terry Crouch winning the event, wrapping up 35 points and securing the champion. So, big championship. Congratulations to Terry Crouch. And I'm not sure if I think David might have wrapped it up as well. I didn't look. Can anyone make up 21 points in one? I don't think so, unless he just doesn't show up. I think Terry has a big enough point battle or lead that he doesn't even have to show up on Sunday. He still wins the championship. So big congratulations to our season champions. And these might be the last of the trophies because of the way my 3D printing is going. I am just limping by trying to do the final ones, and I just don't know if I have it in my heart to struggle through another season. It caused me so much grief and difficulty that I just don't know. So anyway, we'll leave that for another day, but everybody from this season is getting trophies for sure. So Terry Crouch won the event. Oldest Pudiclis came in second place, and Randall White finished in third. That's in our pro class. We also have our amateur division. Dan Clark won the event, with Christopher Schulthes coming in second and Christian Clark finishing in third place. And with that, our season points, again, here we're looking at our pro division with Terry Crouch, 295 points. Monster lead. But going into the final race of the season, we have a 2-point differentiation between second and third, that being Pete Snake in second place with Randall White in third. And only 3 points back of Randall is Oldest Pudiclis. And then only 5 points back is Andrus Slissons. So look at this battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth with the final race, which should be really exciting. And you guys will be able to watch my stream here, and you'd be able to watch it on Pitstop TV. So we'll have the race broadcast with a lot on the line. In our amateur division, things are just as close. Christopher Schulthes goes into the final event with a 3-point lead over Ola Sarnquist. So 3 points on the line for who's going to win the amateur division championship. And Dan Clark just a little bit back with 246 in third place. And it looks like he should pretty much be secure in that third spot finish for the season when all is said and done. Our final race of the year will be at Autodromo Jose Carlos which is going to be a fun track. I'm looking forward to that one. And like I said, I will be there for sure, you guys, for the final event of the season. All right. And that was that. That was it. I think that's it, you guys. Any questions, any comments, any suggestions, anything you need to get off your chest before we close this show out and get our weekend going? As you've seen, I got a lot to do. I got a motion sim to play with. I got a new thing here. I got a new thing there. I got new things on the way. Still working on the studio as well. All sorts of good, fun things going on. So, I think that's going to do it, unless you guys are going to delay the show in any way, shape, or form. All right, come out Sunday and join us for the final race of the road season. We'll have some fun racing over the summer, and we'll start making some announcements about next season in the not too distant future. But it's gonna be a while. We're gonna take a break through the summer, and we'll have some fun stuff going on for us to all be able to play with. But all right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Later today, hopefully, we will have video coming out. We'll have another, or tomorrow at the latest. I have another couple things we're working on, like I said. So lots of good comment. Yeah, thank you, Billy. Exactly. I gave you guys the opportunity, but now I gotta pee, and then I'm gonna start doing some driving in this new fun setup that I'm sitting in. And the whole reason that I changed everything in the studio was to make room for this sucker right here. So should be a good weekend for me. Hopefully the same for you guys. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.